I was walking on the streets of New York. The only sounds that were filling my ears were the sounds made by cars and buses. I was looking for something that would intrigue me in the big city, something that would catch my eye. And then, it did. There, lying on the streets of New York, was a homeless man. He was sitting on the side with shabby clothing, and he was sitting on a piece of cardboard. There was one thing that was very different about him. He had a huge smile on his face, from cheek to cheek. A smile so big and so wide that people would forget about their problems and worries even for a second. A smile so big and so wide that it would make anyone's day better. A smile so big and so wide that you would do anything to keep that smile forever. And then I saw a woman walk towards him. She was tall and blonde. She gave him a package that was placed in a brown bag. He then opened it up slowly, curious to see what was inside. And then he pulled out food. In that moment, his smile grew so wide that it was nothing like I've ever seen before. That man didn't need any money or anything materialized to determine his happiness. He was simply happy with the food that the woman supplied him. And then I realized that some people in the world don't need big materialized things to define their happiness. Doing small things for human beings is just enough. Every day goes by where people struggle around the world. And some may say that there are a given number of days for us to live. So why not cherish those days? Why not make the most of it? I believe that people take human life for granted sometimes and often neglect them. It's pretty evident that the people around us suffer, so why not help them? What's in it for me? Why do I have to do it? Are probably some questions that roll around people's heads. The answer to this is one simple question. If not you, then who? If you don't get up and start making the world a better place, step by step, little by little, then who will? If you don't start creating peace in a small area, then who will? And if you don't start believing in the kindness of humanity, then who will? Enhancing and embracing humanitarian life leads to establishing peace and goodwill around the world. Now, helping the people around you and helping the people outside your community doesn't necessarily mean that all benefits go to them. You can benefit a lot from it too. Aristotle once said, "People find most happiness in loving others rather than in being loved." People find joy and happiness and satisfaction when they help others, so why not continue to do it? Helping others and helping the people around you improves your mental health. It decreases the effects of stress and anxiety, and it overall improves your whole psychological behavior. It gives you a sense of purpose as well. It gives you a sense of what you want to do in that moment and how you want to help others. And lastly, it simply just makes you happy. People find happiness and satisfaction when they help others around them. They feel like they did something so good to them, and they benefit from it as well. That's one of the best feelings in the world. Now, there comes a certain point in life where people are happy with what's around them. People are happy with who they are as a person, what they're doing, and they're happy with the things that are surrounding them. Now, that state of life and that state of mind varies from person to person. But when you feel that state of mind and you feel that you're happy with everything around you, and the question that you keep asking yourself is what's next, think about the people around you. Think about the people who don't have food and water in their life and are struggling without it. Think about the people who don't have a place to call home and they don't have a place to live safely. Think about the people who don't have all the amazing things in life that you have right now. Think about them and how you want to change that. There is one organization that supports everything that I've said, Rotary International. Rotary International is a nonprofit organization. It's an international service that brings together leaders of businesses and embraces humanity and enhances it, along with creating peace and goodwill around the world. Rotary International has so many causes which they support, both international and locally as well. They vary from across the world to in our country to even our state. One example of this was in 2015, a huge earthquake struck Nepal with an 8.1 magnitude. It left over 22,000 people injured, if not dead. Rotary International decided to partner up with Shelter Box, their partner with disaster relief, and go help out the people who suffered from that earthquake, and help out the people who lost their families because of it. Since then, over 2,800 people joined Rotary Club in Nepal and started helping the people in their area. Now that's only one of the many examples that Rotary does internationally. But locally, they do so much. In Raritan Valley Community Center, Community College, Rotary International partnered up with Stop the Hunger campaign and boxed over 50,000 boxes of food, which fed over 300,000 children. During the holidays, Rotary does a lot as well. It's pretty sad when people can't spend Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter with their families and their loved ones. And it's even more sad when people don't have the proper materials to make a proper Thanksgiving meal for themselves and their families. But Rotary helps with that. Rotary boxed over 400 boxes of food and sent them out to the less fortunate so they could have a proper Thanksgiving meal. Now, Rotary doesn't only help people who are the less fortunate. They help people like you and I as well. One of Rotary's main goals is to develop the current generation and the next generations to be strong leaders in their own community. Rotary supports the cause of enhancing humanity and creating peace around the world. That's their main goal. And I believe we should make it our goal as well. So let's join in together and create peace around the world. Thank you.
That was a fabulous speech. Do you have any questions for her?
Excellent speech.